Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Shipra Jain and I'm partner with Cognitud Sustainability Private Limited. We are a fully functional ESG sustainability consulting. We are a ESG consulting firm who's helping corporates, including civil society, solving some of the sustainability challenges, be it around water, climate, ESG as a whole, waste, circular economy. You see the kind of services that we have. For today, we are going to present two tools that we have proprietary. It's a proprietary tool of Cognitud that we've built in-house. That's going to solve some of the climate and supply chain problems for corporates and civil society organizations. We would love to have your feedback on it. We have a booth right outside this room. So in case any of you would like to have a small demo, happy to provide it to you for 10 minutes and get your feedback. We also have more details available outside. Okay, our first tool is named Climera. As the name suggests, it's more to do with how climate risk is impacting companies and how they can use it for better intelligence and better decision making. The other one is Collaborate, which is more to understand what are the supply chain risks that we have, which is largely a gap and a blind spot for most of us. And this tool enables you to kind of understand the risks in the supply chain. Going forward, climate risk. Climate risk, I think all of us understand climate risk mostly from the weather perspective. But climate risk no longer, and we are seeing the results today with Gurgaon being flooded, with Delhi getting rains every day. We are sitting in October and when we were hoping to get some lovely weather, every day there is a rain there. So climate risk is no longer a distant reality. It is a business reality that we are all seeing. Plus, it is not just a business reality, it is a balance sheet reality. In last 3 years and 5 years alone, globally we've seen that extreme weather conditions have kind of made losses equivalent to $1.5 trillion, which is not a small amount. And what is missing is, in all of this, it's not just the company, but it's also the city which is getting impacted. And what we've not been looking at is how this exposure is creeping into the corporate and the city planning, be it through stranded investments, be it through the kind of damage that we are looking at the assets. Every day there is a building that's broken and we are not yet able to make a decision around it. And which is why this climate risk is something that we are trying to fix today. The second reason is it's not just, I may be a finance company, I may be a manufacturing company, I may be infrastructure company, and it's just not one sector that's getting exposed. The issue is we know what is the exposure, but we are not managing, measuring, or trying to use it for business intelligence. And this is where the gap is. And the tool that we are trying to introduce today is going to bridge that gap. How you use climate risk exposure and its management for better intelligence and for business decision making. I assume some of the companies would have done climate risk exposure, but there's something dramatically wrong about it. Most of these climate risk assessments that have been done are flawed. Flawed in a perspective of either they are static. So you have static PDFs that you can show to the investors, you have static PDFs that you can give it to your board of directors, but it does not mean anything. The second major issue is these climate risks are very generic. They are based on some global databases. They do not incorporate local context, and which is where some of the data and some of the analysis that you get is not useful. The third is silo. Your sustainability teams are the ones who are running these climate models. They do not talk to your risk teams, they do not talk to your corporate planning teams, they do not talk to the CFOs. And which is where some of these climate risk assessments sit only on paper. And that's the gap that Climera is trying to fix. We are trying to make a solution, and we've made a solution which not only helps risk teams, but it also helps the sustainability teams, the CFOs make intelligent decisions. The decisions that they can use in corporate planning, the decisions that they can use to see if they would want to invest in a particular location. I remember a case study a couple of years ago. There was an agri-based company and who wanted to invest in India, and their major raw material was coming from agriculture. And they undertook this climate risk study, of course not through Climera, but then, and they figured that the area where they were putting up this plant, in next 15 years, maybe the agriculture production will go down, and which would not make business sense for them to even put up a plant there. And which is where they changed the whole strategy. They moved from Maharashtra to Karnataka. And that's exactly where the climate risk decision making is important. Imagine you have a portfolio, you have assets, about 50 odd assets. All of it you can see on a single map. It's highly interactive, highly intuitive. All the hazards being up, you can understand which plant, which site, which asset has the highest risk, which hazard is going to impact them, and what is the value at risk and what is the revenue at risk. And that's when the decisions happen. The CFOs would not care if you talk about, this asset is high flood zone. What do I do with that information? Unless I know that my revenue will be at risk or my value will be at risk. And which is where Climera was born. It could be another tool, but the major changes and differences that we've brought in is, one, you see scenario analysis and stress testing done across all global frameworks, be it NGFS, IPCC. You see it against less than 2 degrees centigrade, you see it above 2 degrees centigrade, more than 4 degrees centigrade. So you know how things will evolve from 2030 to 2050 to even 2100. And it's not a today's decision, but it's every day's decision. You will see high resolution maps that you can use and even show it to your board to make those decisions, and not something which is not intuitive. It also transforms and translates a climate uncertainty to decision confidence that I've been talking about. And lastly, the financial impact. Today in India and globally, I think a lot of climate risk is being done only to meet a compliance exercise, be it CDP, be it BRSR, be it all sorts of reporting. But what we are trying to establish here, the goal that we have set for ourselves is we are trying to bridge a gap between climate intelligence and how do you use it for business applications and decision making. In terms of features, we've covered both physical risk assessment and transition risk assessment, covering both economic impacts and both the risks. There's a comprehensive coverage about 100 plus hazards, all 5 transition risk drivers across all regions and sectors. So it is not just an India-based tool. You may have access globally, and this tool should be able to help you sitting right here, right now. It's powered by intelligence, so it's not just based on some databases. Every day we have hourly databases for weather. So whether you would want to make decisions in terms of what kind of temperature you need to maintain inside your asset, to how your employees should manage the temperature, all of that you can see this through this tool. And of course the financial translation, which is very well captured through value at risk and revenue at risk. Just a little bit more about physical risk. I'll not go into detail, but you can see the dashboards that we have. This is something that you can see just by inputting your GPS location. We don't need any other information. All we need is a GPS location of your asset. The moment you put it, the moment you put the sector, it's all powered by AI. It'll automatically give you this asset has so many risks and what is the overall hazard score, and which can make you to take a decision whether you would want to do a deep dive, whether you don't want to do a deep dive. All of this will be captured here. The next is okay, again is a transition risk analysis. If you look at it across all the drivers of transition risk, you can see across different time horizons when and what kind of risks can impact your business, what is a risk, what is an opportunity for you, and what will be the economic impact of that risk on your business. All of that on a tool by yourself, and it's self-administered tool. You don't need an advisor for it. You can just put in your data, let your risk managers, let your corporate planners, let your CFOs use it. It's interactive, highly intuitive, and it's not something that you have to wait for a year or two to get it done again from the consultants. You can do it on a daily basis as and when you want to plan for it. There's an inbuilt template of report. You can choose which all metrics you need to look at, and it's highly interactive. You can download the report, you can submit it to your board, you can submit it, you can keep it as a annexure to any of your portfolio, any of the planning that you have, 5-year plan, 2-year plan, 1-year plan, any plan. All of this can be done through this. And the best part is it is already aligned with the global disclosure. So you don't need to worry about whether it's aligned with IFRS S2 or not, whether it's TCFD aligned or not, whether it's meeting the TCFD requirements or not, it is all. So you don't have to worry all of that. And again, another feature is it's connected through API, so you don't need to always upload data. What you could do is if you have already enabled systems in ERP, you could just connect it and all of that data will be pulled up. Just to maybe show a kind of a case study for everyone, and it's not a tool that we are launching it today. We've already deployed it with one of our clients. They are in a transport and infrastructure sector. They have about 15 locations in India and about 2 globally. What they wanted to understand is how the risk would impact, because they're an infrastructure company. Climate risk was an important driver for them. And what they understood, because they were looking at the economic impact of the risks, they saw that one of their most important sites in India, where 70% of the business was driven, most of the risks were there, and 2 major risks were cyclone and flood prone area, that in 2030, and because of which the board, we had presented this to the board, and the board finally the decision has been taken that they will renegotiate their contracts, they will include that in their insurance, because that will help them safeguard. They are going for retrofitting their infrastructure itself. So they are trying to kind of manage and avoid all the potential losses that may happen. In the end, just before that, in the end, what I like to say is climate risk is not about weather, it's about intelligence, it's about strategy. Our goal is to help your leaders and you yourself to make decisions on your own, which could enable you to prevent losses in future. And that's where we've built this Climera. By the way, we also have I know she's been signaling that you speak a lot. So please calm down. So because we don't have enough time, there's another tool that I wanted to quickly show, but I'll not go into details. If you want more details, you can visit our booth, but this is also stopped working. But the other one is, the supply chain tool. It will help you benchmarks, assess maturity in your supply chain, which has been a constant blind spot. Now the ESG risks are outside the wall of a company. So it will enable you to make those decisions again. Just like Chimera, it has an inbuilt intelligence and will give you insights into which suppliers are at highest risk and where you should intervene and where you should have a session with them or integrate your strategy with them. That's all from me for today. Thank you so much for listening, and in case you want further details, we are out there. Thank you.